Most of the world only knows a few African empires: Egypt, Mali, Ethiopia, maybe Great Zimbabwe. But Africa's history is much deeper, much older, and far more complex than any textbook ever taught you. Across thousands of years, our continent was home to advanced kingdoms, powerful queens, sophisticated governments, and wealthy trading networks that connected Africa to Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. But many of these civilizations were hidden, ignored, or erased. Not because they were small, not because they were insignificant, but the world never wanted Africans to know just how powerful and intelligent their ancestors were. Today, on Africarized, we bring them back. This is the story of 10 hidden African empires you never learned about. Stay to the end, and remember to support the channel by becoming a member and by checking out the Africarized shop, where we sell African-inspired cultural designs, hoodies, caps, decor, and more that celebrate our heritage. Visit Africarized.com and wear your history with pride. Now let's begin. 1. The Kingdom of Aksum, the empire that controlled global trade. Most people know about the Roman Empire and ancient Persia, but very few know that Africa had its own global superpower, rising at the same time as Rome. The Aksumite Empire, located in today's Ethiopia and Eritrea, was one of the 4 great civilizations of the ancient world. Aksum had its own written language, 𝒌's massive stone architecture, powerful armies, a sophisticated system of taxation ports that connected Africa to India, Arabia, and the Mediterranean. At its height, Aksum controlled the Red Sea trade, meaning spices, gold, ivory, and silk passed through African hands. The empire even minted its own coins, gold, silver, and bronze, making it one of the earliest African economies to have a state-backed currency. Yet most textbooks never mention it. But Aksum was Africa's first global empire, Tau. The Kingdom of Dahomey, the empire of women warriors. Before the blockbuster film The Woman King, the world barely knew about the Dahomey Empire located in today's Benin. This empire shocked Europeans. Why? Because Dahomey had an elite military unit made entirely of women, now known as the Agoji or Dahomey Amazons. These women were fierce, disciplined, and respected across West Africa. Dahomey was a centralized kingdom with organized taxation, strict military formations, a powerful monarchy, large palaces with advanced architecture. European visitors wrote that Dahomey had some of the best trained soldiers in the world. The empire controlled regional trade, diplomacy, and warfare for centuries. Dahomey was not just powerful, it was revolutionary. 3. The Kingdom of Mapungubwe, Southern Africa's first capital of gold before Great Zimbabwe. Before Mutapa, there was Mapungubwe. Located where Botswana, South Africa, and Zimbabwe meet, Mapungubwe existed from about 1075 to 1220 AD. This kingdom controlled the gold trade routes between the interior of Africa and the Indian Ocean. Archaeologists found evidence of goldsmithing, glass beads from India, Arab and Persian ceramics, advanced social hierarchy, massive stone structures. Mapungubwe was so wealthy that it discovered a golden rhinoceros, a symbol of elite African craftsmanship. This proves that African trade networks were global long before Europeans arrived. 4. The Nok civilization, one of the world's oldest advanced cultures. Imagine a civilization that existed before the Roman Empire, before the Greeks built their temples, and before most modern societies even formed. That was the Nok civilization of Nigeria. From around 1500 BC, the Nok developed. Complex iron smelting technology, sophisticated terracotta sculptures, advanced farming, intricate social organization. Nok art is some of the oldest known in sub-Saharan Africa, showing stylized human heads, figures, and elaborate hairstyles. This civilization influenced later cultures like the Yoruba and Benin Kingdom. 𝒂𝒃 was Africa's first Iron Age powerhouse, and the world barely talks about it. 5. The Empire of 𝒂𝒓𝒏𝒚, the 1,000-year African kingdom. Imagine an empire so stable and powerful that it survived for over 1,000 years. From the 700s to the 1800s, 𝒂𝒓𝒏𝒚 ruled the region around Lake Chad, modern-day Chad, Nigeria, Cameroon, and Niger. 𝒂𝒓𝒏𝒚 had cavalry armies, strong trade networks, Islamic scholarship, a structured governance system, diplomatic links with North Africa and the Middle East. At its height, the empire controlled trans-Saharan trade routes, selling horses, textiles, salt, and ivory. Few empires in world history match its longevity. 6. The Luba Empire, masters of memory, knowledge, and kingship. Located in today's DRC, the Luba Empire built a sophisticated government system based on sacred authority and historical memory. The Luba created Lukasa memory boards, beautiful wooden tablets covered with beads and carvings used by royal historians to record the kingdom's entire history. Their empire was held together not just by military power, but by diplomacy, culture, spiritual authority, shared identity. Luba influence later spread to neighboring kingdoms, shaping Central African culture for centuries. 7. The Kingdom of 𝒊𝒐𝒃, the empire of master sculptors. Most people think detailed bronze art began in Europe, but the Kingdom of 𝒊𝒐𝒃, located in Nigeria, created some of the most realistic sculptures in world history. The bronze and terracotta heads of 𝒊𝒊𝒃 show detailed facial expressions, braided hairstyles, crowns, and jewelry. These artworks shocked European archaeologists, who could not believe Africans created such beauty. 𝒊𝒃 was also a major religious center, a powerful political city-state, a hub of long-distance trade. Many West African traditions trace their roots to 𝒊𝒃, including Yoruba kingship. 𝒊𝒃 proves that African art was not primitive, it was world-class. 8. The Kingdom of Loango, Africa's forgotten coastal superpower. Located in today's Republic of Congo and Gabon, the Loango Kingdom controlled a massive portion of Central Africa's Atlantic coast. Loango was known for advanced maritime trade, extensive copper and iron markets, skilled blacksmiths, colorful cloth weaving, powerful merchant guilds. European traders in the 1500s and 1600s considered Loango a major commercial powerhouse. But today, few people even know its name. Loango shaped the Central African coast long before colonial borders existed. 9. The Silla Kingdom of Nubia, the empire of the Black Pharaoh. Queen's ancient Nubia, located in today's Sudan, produced one of Africa's greatest but least known ruling dynasties, the Kandake queens. These queens ruled the kingdom of Kush, a rival to ancient Egypt. In fact, Kush conquered and ruled Egypt during the 25th dynasty, creating a powerful Black Pharaoh lineage. But another branch, the Silla Kingdom, emerged later and was ruled almost entirely by women. These Nubian queens commanded armies, negotiated treaties, and defended their lands against Roman expansion. Nubia produced some of history's most influential African women, and yet their story is almost erased. 10. The Kingdom of Adal, the forgotten East African power that challenged empires. In the Horn of Africa during the 1400s and 1500s, the Adal Sultanate rose as a strong Islamic empire centered around today's Somalia, Djibouti, and Ethiopia. Under leaders like Ahmad ibn Ibrahim al-Ghazi, also known as Ahmed Gragan, Adal launched major military campaigns that shocked the region. Adal had firearms and cannons alliances with the Ottoman Empire, strong cavalry fortified cities, international diplomacy. This empire played a major role in shaping East African politics and religious history. But today it is rarely mentioned, even though it once changed the balance of power in the Horn of Africa. These 10 empires represent only a small fraction of Africa's hidden history. There were hundreds more, from the Mossi kingdoms to the Swahili city-states, to Mutapa, Benin, Ouagadougou, and Congo. Africa was not a silent continent. It was a continent of empires, engineers, philosophers, traders, queens, warriors, diplomats, inventors. The world hid this story. Now we bring it back to life. This documentary is brought to you by the Africarized shop, your home for African-inspired clothing, accessories, decor, hoodies, caps, mugs, and cultural designs that honor our heritage. If you love African history and want to represent your roots, visit www.africarized.kelvin-𝒌𝒨.net. Wear your identity, wear your story, wear Africa. Join the Africarized membership. Creating documentaries like this requires time, research, graphics, editing, and narration. If you want to support the channel and help us produce more powerful African history content, join the Africarized membership. You'll get exclusive videos, early access to documentaries, behind-the-scenes research, and direct support for the Africarized mission. Your support keeps African stories alive. This has been Hidden African Empires You Never Learned About, only on Africarized. Like, comment, subscribe, and never stop discovering Africa.